What Are You Glad About? What Are You Mad About? By Judith Viorst. What Are You Glad About? What Are You Mad About? Is a book of poems that explores how it feels to be a kid. While you are looking through the poems today, think about how the author conveys a mood in the poems. A mood is the emotional atmosphere in a poem. It's how the poem makes you feel. Today, we are going to read the first two sections of Judith's book. I want you to choose a poem based on the following questions. Did any of the poems feel like you could have written it? What was it about the poem that connected to something in your own life? What do you like about the way the poem sounds? If you don't like the poems, explain why not. You will have a Flipgrid assignment, and we will be doing the same thing we've done in the past with our remote poetry workshop. Only today, I want you to choose a poem. So choose a poem that you could connect to your own life to copy today. If there wasn't one you connected with, just choose your favorite. Copy the poem into your notebook and practice reading it a few times. Illustrate your poem. And finally, recite your poem on Flipgrid. Make sure you share your illustration with your classmates, and most importantly, have fun. So now I'm going to read the first two sections of Judith's book, What Are You Glad About? What Are You Mad About? Okay, so what are you glad about? What are you mad about? What are you glad about? What are you mad about? If you had just one color to paint the whole world, would it be orange or gray? If you had just one message to give to the world, would it be grrr or hooray? If you had just one place you could live in this world, would you choose here or away? What are you glad about? What are you mad about? How are you feeling today? Did you wake up this morning all smiley inside? Does life taste like ice cream and cake? Or does it seem more like your goldfish just died and your insides are one great big ache? Do you wish you could go in a closet and hide? Or would you rather go play? What are you glad about, mad about, sad about? How are you feeling today? When they ask you to do something, will you say yes? Or will your answer be no? Do you think that you get what you want or much less? Are you shrinking or starting to grow? Is that person you see in the mirror a mess? Or is that person okay? What are you glad about, mad, sad, or bad about? How are you feeling today? All alone inside my very own skin. I'm all alone inside my very own skin. That's how it is and how it's always been. We are each a one and only, but at times I feel so lonely that I wish I could invite somebody in. I'm all alone here, I, myself, and me. That's just one person, though it sounds like three. If you've nothing else to do, and if you're feeling lonely too, perhaps you'd like to keep me company. Such a lovely girl. The moms, they all love Anna May. She's such a lovely girl, they say. There's no one sweeter, kinder, or politer. I really hate to hear them say, you must be more like Anna May. When I don't want to be, I want to bite her. She's such a lovely girl, they swear. She gets good grades. She's got great hair. She tries to be the best, and who can stop her? She likes to help. She likes to share. She always wears clean underwear. She's practically a saint. I'd like to bop her. Each night I go to bed and pray that Anna May will move away to some place far, perhaps the Isle of Man. It could be New Zealand, Paraguay, Nepal, the Gobi Desert. Hey, it even, yay, could be a whole new planet. I'm sick of having her adored by all the moms while I'm ignored. She's such a lovely girl, they always tell us. She's 10. I'm 0 on the board of any game that's being scored. What possibly could make you think I'm jealous? Much more than terrified. I know there's a monster lurking inside my closet. I am terrified. I can hear his breathing, fierce and fast and furious. But I've never met a monster before, so I'm going to open my closet door because, much more than terrified, I am curious. Sorry? I did it! I did it! I did it! Although all the grown-ups forbid it. I knew right away that it wasn't okay. But even good children can't always obey. And yesterday morning, I couldn't obey, so I did it. I did it! I did it! I did it! I did what I shouldn't, then hid it. I wanted to blame it on 3 other guys. Except I turn red when I start telling lies. And everyone knows when I start telling lies that I did it. I did it! I did it! I did it! And now I will have to admit it. I'll say that I'm sorry for what I have done. I'll say lots of sorries. I won't mention fun. Although I had fun. Lots of fun. So much fun when I did it. The Sillies. I feel like wearing mismatched socks, one purple and one orange. I'd like to wear them on my ears. Or maybe on my barange. You wonder what a barange is? Go ask my cousin Bill. He's the guy who knows the answers since I went and caught the sillies. I feel like eating lamps for lunch and then some rugs for supper. And for dessert, I'd like to try a curwait or a gupper. You don't get what I'm saying? You must check with Cousin Gil. He's the guy who knows what's doing since I went and caught the sillies. I feel like flying to Vizu on my next school vacation, unless I go to Kloop instead. You want an explanation of where these places are? You'd best call up my cousin Phil. He's the guy who knows what's flying since I went and caught the sillies. Get serious, my mama says. She thinks that I'm outrageous. And also a bad influence, perhaps even contagious. She tells me stop my nonsense now. It's giving her the willies. But I'm not stopping till you all have gone and caught the sillies. School stuff. What I've learned at school. John F. Kennedy was our 35th president. Earth is a planet revolving around the sun. Not everyone's mom puts an I love you note in their lunchbox next to their lunch. And not everyone remembers to flush when they're done. Every mammal has hair, and a whale is a mammal. A poem is a poem even if it doesn't rhyme. Teachers don't like to hear stories about how the wind blew your homework away. And the school bus won't wait if you aren't there on time. Annapolis is the capital of Maryland, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. And wearing a black leather jacket won't make you the coolest kid in the class. As long as your favorite movie is still E.T. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. You've got to stop talking once the exam begins. You're never supposed to make fun of the other team when it loses a game. And you're never ever supposed to cry when it wins. Mix red and yellow together if you want orange. If you want green, you need to mix yellow and blue. I also have learned the difference between metamorphic and igneous rocks, and between boys and girls, but I'm not telling you. School lunch. There was trouble this afternoon at the school cafeteria. Somebody sat on Mary's PB&J. The girl went into a state of total hysteria and poured ketchup all over the sandwich sitter's tray, who then took his burger and plopped it on top of Mary's head after dipping it first in the ketchuped tray, which is why she is eating a burger that's slurpy and hairy and why he is eating a smelly PB&J. Reading and writing. To learn the English language, rules are needed. So many rules, my head will soon explode. The dog I feed, I've fed. I can't say feeded. The candles I blow out, I blew, not blowed. If I should cheat, I would never say I cheated. If I should cry, I sometimes do, I cried. But when I eat a snack, I haven't eated. And when I buy, I cannot say I buyed. I read a book. That doesn't mean I readed. Though if I boss you, I can say I bossed. They're making me say led instead of leaded. And if I lose, I haven't losed, I've lost. The lambs who bleat are always lambs who bleated. But moms who drive are always moms who drove. I'm positive that when I weed, I weeded. But when I dive, have I just dived or dove? I know bled goes with bleed, it isn't bleated. Chose goes with choose, but squoze won't go with squeeze. These rules have left me beaten, though not beated. I think I'd rather try to learn Chinese. Arithmetic. A lesson. Pick a number. Shh, don't tell. Add 6. Add 5. Add 9. Take 2 away. Take 4 away. Add 8. You're doing fine. Now, take away the number that you started with and then divide by 2. Take 1 away. I bet you're left with 10. The homework. How did I do that? Figure it out. Then ask a friend to pick a number. Shh. Now you can play your own arithmetic. Daniel tries out for the school play. I thought they would choose me for star of the show. I learned all the lines that I needed to know. I sang the songs loudly and sang them in tune. But then, after watching us all afternoon, they picked Jackson. Okay, so I tried out for Jackson's best friend. There's a really cool dance that he does at the end. And nobody knew the steps better than I. But then, after 6 other kids got to try, they picked Carlos. Well, maybe the bad dude is who I should play. He sneers and he snarls and has plenty to say. So I sneered and I snarled and I showed them my stuff. But then, when they thanked me and said, "That's enough," they picked Tyler. Some kids might start feeling discouraged, I guess. There's one big part left, but it's not mine unless I agree to wear lipstick and dress in a dress. I said yes. This substitute teacher is really into rhyming. Icicle, bicycle, holiest, lowliest, Kalamazoo and achoo. Spaghetti and steady and also confetti. Rhyming is such fun to do. Gentle and lentil and coincidental. Gorilla a pill a day too. Busy and dizzy. And what about is he? Rhyming is such fun to do. Now we could get weirder and rhyme it with theater, then dare to do matzah and latza, as in lots of luck. But I'll bet you $1 that nobody comes up with plots. A word that means faint or collapse from surprise, which maybe just happened to you. Though I hope you've had time to discover that rhyming is such fun, so much fun to do. Much more fun than eating a shoe, or spilling a bowl of beef stew, or weeping and wailing boo-hoo, or being all covered with glue, or sharing a bed with a new, or smelling a smell that's P.U., or uh-oh, it's 10:52. Class over. Bye-bye. Toodaloo. Okay, so now that we've read through the first 2 sections of what are you sad about? What are you glad about? What are you mad about? Choose a poem that you could connect to your own life to copy today. If there wasn't one you connected with, just choose your favorite. And if you didn't like any of them, choose your least favorite. Copy the poem into your notebook and practice reading it a few times. Illustrate your poem. Recite your poem on Flipgrid. Make sure you share your illustration with your classmates. And most importantly, it is Friday, so have fun.